Good morning.
Morning.
Morning, Ed.
Hi, good morning, Gordon.
Morning. Morning,
Nice
Jay.
and chilly.
Morning.
Nice and
How are you?
chilly up here.
How's the weather up there?
Cold.
Cold?
Still got a bunch of snow on the ground.
Morning, Holly.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning,
Good
Jamie.
morning.
Morning,
Good
Miss
morning.
Jamie.
I'm looking out the window. I just got a notice we're supposed to have snow flurries, but I don't see them
Okay.
yet.
Kind of looks, it's so gray out there.
Yeah, yeah. It
All right.
is, it is.
There I am.
Good morning, Doug.
This is
Morning,
you.
Doug.
Well, how come I just am a user? I don't know. They link was different this time. It I don't know, it's my computer or whatever, but it was just different. And so as you can see, it didn't even let me on. I've been sitting there for 2 minutes trying to figure out what was wrong. And so now it doesn't even have my name on there. So that's weird. No big deal. I am still here. How is everybody?
Great.
Good.
Yeah, it's cold and snow's on the ground. You're looking out the window. I see.
Yep.
Yep.
Jason, is Harry on and Carol?
They should be coming in right now.
Okay, great.
I'll change that user.
I see Harry. I see Carol.
Ah,
Connecting with audio.
What about Jim Curtis?
Well, Debbie's
He-
on.
I think Jim said he couldn't attend today. He was in
Okay.
Atlanta or something.
That's right. He's got a stamp meeting. So I
oh,
don't know what assignments you had for him.
We need to
Well,
load
we're-
him up.
great.
Yeah, we are.
Harry, Harry. Hey, Harry,
Good
you
morning.
always look like you laying down.
Yeah.
Well, how's that?
Hello,
There you
Harry.
go. I'm like, every time I see Harry, he's laying on the bed or a sofa or out by the pool.
I'm right next door to Holly.
Okay.
Well,
Right.
hi, neighbor.
Howdy, howdy.
Howdy, howdy.
Hello, Carol. Is Carol on?
I am.
I see
He is.
Carol.
Good morning, Carol.
Good morning.
Hello, Carol. Well, let's start the meeting. If we're all here, I think we're all here. And-
Oh, oh, he's somebody
There's
else.
two
sitting
more
over there.
participants here.
Well, again, good morning, I want to say, and first want to welcome Carol Robinson to her first meeting, and now she's representing the Sky Valley Country Club. Welcome, Carol.
Thank you.
And I also want to say I am really excited to serve as the new chair of the Sky Valley Marketing Committee and look forward to our marketing programs really having a positive impact on our wonderful city and even making this even a better place for our businesses and homeowners. Also, a special thanks I want to give to Bob O'Keefe for his leadership, marketing ideas, his programs, and his financial stewardship. He left us in really a good position. I guess the first order of agenda here is approval of our December 2nd, 2021 meeting minutes. Everyone had a chance to look at it.
Yes.
Is there a motion at this point to approve the minutes?
So moved.
So is there a second?
Second.
Good. I'd say all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Terrific. So moved. I guess our second item on the agenda is the marketing update. Doug, it's in your hands.
Okay. First off, Happy New Year to everybody. Hope everybody had a good holiday and watched all the snow come down. I forgot to put that in there. I got to talk about
Yes,
snow and what we're going to try to do in the future to help us out there with some of the photos. Hey, been real busy time of year to try to get a lot of people involved, and I just sent everybody a email that kind of puts everything on what we've been doing. Apologize in a way, PGA show in Orlando, annual show, although it wasn't last year. It's a great show. It's for media and PGA professionals like Steve only. And so all the big names come and travel places and every gadget you could ever think about. And not just golf related, it could be physical, mental, it could be anything. It's been a great show, been going for 20-something years. And so I went down, and basically what I do is when I go down there is I reach out to my media contacts, and those media contacts are the people that you see that write about us. They've come to visit Sky Valley. And so we are very excited about the continued growth of what we're doing. We met with all the people that do stuff for us, and they're all on board and want to help and do more, and trying to come up with some ideas. We met with, I say we, me, I met with a few other people around there that want to help us because a lot of areas like New England Golf Journal, Indiana, Michigan, Ohio, coastal panhandle area down in Mobile, all these people are excited because they want, it's kind of a partnership. So they help us by putting stuff that we can put in their magazines or on the radio or social media or whatever. And we want to tell people in New England about Georgia, Sky Valley. And so they can come down, and then we want to do stuff for them that will, enable our people in Georgia to go up north, maybe during the summertime, things like that. So it's always a win-win situation. So I've met with a guy who owns a new golf journal, Indiana Golf Journal. I've seen the new edition with our, Sky Valley's in this edition. So, but it must have been a prototype. And so I've asked him to send me the new link. And so I'll send it to you. That's going to be it, indianagolfjournal.com, I believe. And so excited about that. They have quite a big following up there. And so he has also Michigan and Ohio. So we get a lot of people from the Midwest that come south during the year. And so we're going to be doing quite a few things with them to reciprocate. But I'm trying to get the head guy to come down. He was going to try to make it last year, but he didn't. So every one of the media people I told I would like for them to come to Georgia, we will work out. So they would come, and I said, well, you got to either do North Georgia or you got to do South Georgia. You can't do both. You don't have enough time. So we're working hard to space that out so we can get a lot of different media people that would come to Sky Valley and see about everything. And the gentleman there with the three magazines, he's read Mike May's articles and he loves it, and you can't wait to get here. And he also has a radio podcast that he does. It's really good. So, and they have quite a big following. They do an extremely great job in terms of promoting, and not just golf. You know, we talk golf, but golf entails, as you know, much more: travel, real estate, all the stuff that, you know, we want to be a part of. So we're excited about that. He is coming. We got to figure out, we talked about some time for him. Another group is Southern Golf Fairways. They're out of Mobile and the coastal area down there. They reach 5 states. So we got a brand new article about Sky Valley in their magazine. So this is a totally different group. And that is a quarterly magazine. And then they have a weekly radio show. And they're a powerhouse in that area. That reaches all the way up into Tennessee and Louisiana and, you know, Panhandle, Florida and Alabama, and some into Georgia. So again, just a new media partner that again helps us, you know, do exactly what we want to do, is get the word out. So you can see the information on that. Also, we have, that I sent you guys already, the 4th annual Georgia Travel Awards, and you guys won the, which I think is one of the prettiest par 4s in all of golf. They're on number 18. So we put that out and, you know, put that in the article there for Golf Central magazine. So quite a few people would read that. I even showed that article to the guy there with Ohio and Michigan, and gave him an opportunity. I said, hey, this is what we do down here, and it really works. We get a lot of people interested in the magazine, and then, you know, they get to tell their best of type places. So so it's that type stuff that we do at the show that, you know, really gets out. I don't go out on the show much, not that y'all care, in the floor and see all the new gadgets. That's just not what we do anymore. But certainly reach a lot of people there at the show, and saw quite a few people, and working on some new markets, Pittsburgh, Philadelphia area, and then the New England area, which is a huge market. So we're going to be putting all 3 of them want to come. They're all different people, and they have radio shows or a TV show or whatever. So we want to get them all to Georgia, but going to be doing a deal with New England, and hopefully Monday or Tuesday. And he's real excited about what we can do and putting, you know, our stuff in their market, which has not been in their market before. And so we just want people, you know, granted, we can't have something in there every time, but we can have a lot of things. And that's what we want to do, where it's just real simple. We can even use the same article that we might write about, you know, then we put in for Sky Valley or the trail or whatever it may be in these different places. So it just makes it real easy. Plus, you know, we're not having to go out and buy anything. I mean, this is the part that you win, because you have me who knows these people, and we just, you know, work deals, and no money's exchanged. And so it's a great way. There's no way you can go out and spend the kind of money that these people ask and reach all the people. So we're excited about that. Also this year, which you'll start seeing a lot of new stuff, is our 10th anniversary. So can't believe it's 10 years, but it's longer than 10 years. 10 years is just kind of where we kicked off the bell, but it took years before that to start working with the state and other, you know, resorts and getting people involved. So we are going to come up with a new logo for this year. We want to give away things to people who contact us, whether it be Bridgestone golf balls or maybe rounds of golf at Sky Valley or overnight stay at Stone Mountain or whatever it is. So we're going to have a lot of fun this year doing, you know, letting more people know about what we're doing. And when you do these type things, people pick up on it. And so they'll write about it. And so that's, that might be something different, like this guy in New England, when we inked the deal, he's going to write a big press release that will be picked up by a lot of different people. So that's exciting, but a lot going on for this year. I can't believe it's February already. It's been a tough 12 months for me. Just lost my father-in-law on Monday, and so it was luckily they postponed the funeral till tomorrow that I could go down to the show. So lost my mom in December, lost him in just a few days ago, unexpectedly. He was in a car wreck, and it just was too bad for him to recover. So we've been having to deal with all that, and but some good news. I had my 9th grandbaby born last weekend, so excited about that. Grandpa has not gone to see her yet, so my wife's been dealing with her dad, and so I didn't want to go until she could go, and then I head off to Florida, and so hopefully, if all goes well, we're going to try to go see her this afternoon. They're close by, so that's good. So excited about that. So excited when I can sit in a room like I did this week and talk to people about Sky Valley and Georgia and whatever. And now that people understand and they see and they've heard in years and months and of working hard, you really start seeing a lot of progress, which is really kind of neat on my part, that these people get it. They know the Georgia Golf Trail now. Oh wow, y'all are one of the biggest in the country, and so it's exciting. We're on a good pace for 2022, and we'll go from there. The snow deal. So it snowed up there quite a bit, and we were going to try to come on Tuesday of that week, which I guess was just a couple of weeks ago. Steve was worried that it might start melting, and he wanted to go on up. I could not go on up that Monday, not that I have to hold his hand, but so he went on up, and a few of you might know that he got stuck, and the problem was Steve's. He didn't have any phone service. So he had to walk down. He was right there behind the 18 on those, that really pretty house that's next to the road there. And he tried to back up and slid off, and he's got a Jeep. So, so we got to figure out, so he didn't really get started. So we got to figure out different options when the snow comes, because it's a little more treacherous. That's certainly, y'all certainly know. And Jason, thank you to Jason, who went and pulled Steve out, and but that all worked out. So we learned. Now we're going to figure this out, because we certainly want some pretty snow pictures, and so I got some ideas, and so it might be the point where we see it coming and we just get up there and stay, and then we might have to have some other kind of vehicle that can ride us around a little bit.
Doug, we can get you some sled dogs. How about that?
Ollie, I love dogs, so that will be great. And
Okay.
I'll let Steve take the pictures, and I'll yell mush, and go from there. But that's it for me. So thanks, Gordon.
Thank you. Any other questions to Doug at all, members?
Don't you suppose there are quite a few pictures that we could use that they could use?
Again, it goes back to what quality are they? I certainly have snow pictures. You certainly have used them in the past. We would like to get some new ones, plus some drone footage. But it can't be too cold. That drone thing won't fly if it's like below zero. It just kind of eats up the battery. And so there's some things. So certainly we would love to do it, but we'd have to look at them, Harry, and see what, you know, and we'd like to get some maybe new shots and new
We've got a couple of great photographers around, Jen DiCasello and Jim
Barrick.
Rhodes,
Moody Barrick.
Moody Barrick, and they were taking and posting really great quality photos, because I think they're more than just the hobby photo journalists. They're really great photographers.
Yeah,
So
they're,
we might reach out to them.
Yeah,
as residents, they know all the good shots.
Mhm.
that's a good point, Ed.
Well, how would you put that together? I guess if, you know, if we don't have another snow day, is there a way of putting that together so we get together with Steve and somehow put that all together?
Yeah, if
Sure,
somebody knows,
sure.
if somebody will reach out to whoever y'all name there, Jamie, and just say, hey, send us a few. You don't have to send a lot. Send us a few and let us see what kind of. This is Steve's expertise in terms of the, you know, high res, that type stuff, and go from there. So that would at least be a start.
Yeah, I think that leads us to the subject we got onto is, Steve, just the photos we have, the videos we have, how much do we need? Are we at a point that we ascertain that we have enough at this time, Doug? What do we have, you know, in terms of the collection? And
The collection continues, you know, we're doing seasons. So, you know, we haven't done really a nice spring season yet, and haven't, you know, certainly haven't done the winter season. So we would still like to continue, you know, seeing what Steve is on contract. So we're still good. So from his end.
Okay. Any comments on that? All righty. Thank you again, Doug, for your report.
Oh.
I guess, Jason, next item on the agenda would be the website report. Jason, can you just bring us updated on the website, please?
I can, just wanted to make a quick comment about Steve. He had a Jeep, but he had a two-wheel drive Jeep, rear wheel drive, and it had a limited slip rear end, so only one wheel would spin. So he was in a pretty treacherous spot. I was worried about damaging his vehicle, winching it out, and hopefully we won't get a nasty letter from those neighbors. He tore the yard up pretty good, but we got him out. But anyway, yeah, it was pretty treacherous that day. I was up here for several hours with the guys plowing. But getting back to the website, the Visit Sky Valley GA.com site, if you haven't had a chance to look at it, it is live. Lawson Media, if you had a chance to look at it in its infancy, there was a lot of stock video. There were train tracks. There was somebody on a four-wheeler riding through a trailer park, kind of things that really was not Sky Valley, but they've gone back. I think we did give them access to Steve's, some of his photos and video. And right now it's looping, and there's a good mix of some local pictures, some local video, as well as some general stock video that kind of complements. I don't think it's in the city, but there's photos of people walking on trails and high-fiving each other and things like that. So it does kind of give a good vibe. Really right now, the bones are there. I mean, obviously it needs to be customized to the marketing committee the way you've seen it needs to be deemed fit. As I've looked through it, of course, right now with a lot of the filler, there's a lot of what I would call Raven County regional type things versus Sky Valley. I mean, there's things about restaurants down in Clayton and Tiger and bed and breakfasts in Tiger and Kingwood and things like that. It probably, I would suspect that I would want to kind of shrink that in a little bit more Sky Valley, Scaly Highlands or Dillard. But it obviously it needs to be tweaked. the link to the webcam is there. And we do have an agreement with Lawson Media where they will help do some maintenance and things like that. Because they're doing the maintenance for both websites, the updated skyvalleyga.com as well as this new marketing website, the maintenance is being paid out of the general fund. So that's that will kind of save y'all a little money on the marketing side. It just kind of made sense to just pay it there because they're doing both. And just on the side note, we do have the council did approve last year in budget, and we budgeted for a part-time communication specialist. I had several people inquire. I'd had an interview, but it fell through. In this very competitive labor market, I had identified somebody who I thought might be a good fit to kind of help through this webmaster stuff and do all these things we want to get done. Even respond to Facebook postings and things like that. But that fell through. We are actively recruiting for that. And I'm looking forward to whoever we do selecting playing a vital role in helping give marketing support and really helping to bring this site to its full potential.
Jason, I've been working on the site. I went in and took a lot of the places out that were not
Okay,
really
good.
close to Sky
Right.
Valley. But in doing that, really looking at that site, basically what they did was just move over exploreraven.com. And on the site we have right now, Sky Valley is on there 3 times. It's on
Okay.
there, see, I wrote it down. It's on there with the golf for outdoor adventure. It's on there, places to stay. They've got Sky Valley Country Club, but it does not allude to any place to stay. No VRBO, no nothing as far as places to go. It's just got information about the country club. And then it's listed as 1 of 10 under wedding venues. So that's what's out there now. If you go to visit skyvalley.com, it's really an extension, Explore Raven site. So I've really been trying to draw it out myself. I don't
Thank
know
you.
how to do WordPress. I wish I could, because I could go in there and actually do it, but I'm trying to gather all the information to put a Sky Valley site together. And hopefully in the next few days, I'll have as much information there as I want. And then I'd like to get with you and Holly maybe before we get with the Lawsons. I don't know, I don't feel like they have built a Visit Sky Valley website at this point. I think
Okay.
it's just been moved over and really needs a lot of work. So just to let you know, I am working on it.
Thank you.
Been trying to it's got so much noise in it from Rabun County. It's hard to deal with that site. So it's almost like you have to, just start over and kind of build it on paper, and then maybe I can give it to somebody and get with you and Holly about it.
Yeah,
Gordon, did you think we could set up our subcommittee, website subcommittee with Debbie and Jamie and you and Jason? That would
I'd
be
like to
great.
do it. Yes, I think, first of all, I love looking at the site. I really like the idea, how it's doing. I just think we need to tweak it, as Jamie was talking about, but the concept really makes sense. I think we can do a lot with it. Just looking at it, things we can do locally, makes a lot of sense. It's a
I think we
foundation.
need, I think we need to edit the government website too. I saw several things on there that needed to be removed and added. So if we could have a subcommittee meeting, we could get this sucker going.
Jamie,
Yeah,
do you want-
there were some typographical error. They spelled council wrong on we got that fixed. I mean, it was spelled right, but it was the wrong concept. It was council like counseling versus council
Yeah.
like a city council. But yeah, it's we're looking at things. I'm making notes as I have time on that on the city side. But yeah, I did spend a little time reviewing both of them. The bones are there.
Yes.
The Lawsons have been paid. I know on the city side and I think the check's in the mail on the visitor side, but I have had couple conversations with Ron and he is an extension through his son, Mike, who did a lot of the legwork, I believe, and they do realize that there are some things that need to be done and I think they're willing to do that.
So when could you, I guess as a timing suggestion, Jamie and Jason, when we could get together? I guess sooner is better than later. Idea, but-
And Debbie's online too, so she
Okay.
could throw
Debbie?
in some suggestions.
Debbie?
But
maybe
what
good-
about next Friday, 4th?
What's
Friday?
the date of that?
February
fourth?
4.
That's
Jason,
okay.
I just threw out the 4th. I was looking
Okay.
at my schedule. Sometimes, like a lot of people, sometimes Fridays, as the week kind of goes on, my schedule kind of thins out. That I was thinking that Friday might be a good.
4th works for me.
but Jason,
Yes.
there's a special projects meeting on the 4th. at
Okay.
10.
Well, thank you, Karen.
Thank you, Karen. What time is that, Karen?
10.
10, okay.
Would we want to do something later that, well, I'm gonna mute somebody. I don't know who that is, but
Well, a lot more people are up here with the stove, they want to see the stove and then.
It's Harry. Harry
Yeah, I
Booth
did-
muted himself.
I just muted you, Harry, if you need to talk. So there's a lot of background noise.
Well, do you want to meet later in the day on the 4th or come up with another date, y'all?
I'm okay that day, the
Me
4th.
too. Later is
Okay.
good.
I am
Okay.
too.
2
Say
o'clock,
1 o'clock, 1 o'clock?
1 o'clock, okay.
Hey, okay.
1
I mean,
o'clock.
I just-
So 1 o'clock and you will follow up. This will be a Zoom meeting.
What
Well,
I'll do is, I'm
Yeah.
making notes right now, so,
Okay.
and,
Is it
Well, so-
possible that those that are here, Gordon, you probably won't be here, but
Yeah.
to meet in person and then include Gordon with the Zoom?
we could do that. I mean, do you want to,
Or
I
I
could-
may can just bring some stuff by to you and hand it to you, but kind of what I'm thinking about is a little visual.
I'm fine either way.
do you want to have the Lawsons represented on this meeting?
I don't
No.
think so. I think
Okay.
we don't need to talk among ourselves.
Okay,
You could make it for 2 o'clock. I just got a doctor's appointment. I could be there. I'd love to be there in person. Is 2 o'clock too late?
2
Two
o'clock's
works for
okay with
me.
me.
do you want
2
me, so we're gonna do this in person?
In person at 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock.
And Zoom, because Gordon can't be there.
No, I'll be there.
Oh, you'll be in Sky Valley?
I'll be there. It's important, so I'll be there.
Would we want to do this, maybe see if Rob, the story would let us use his facility, since we don't really have when we can meet in my office, it's just kind of crowded, but I thought I would reach out to Ford Raven if we want to use their meeting room, or I don't want to
Or how about
overcomplicate things.
how about the club?
Yeah,
Let's try the
Carol.
club.
Okay,
yes.
I mean,
Gary?
we're all up here.
he's muted right now, so I don't know if he can.
We just have to check in with Chris to see if we can use the club room.
Okay. So 2 p.m. Friday the 4th
Yeah.
Yes.
at 2 p.m. club.
Yeah, the club room, what is it, Holly? 4? It starts at 4 where he has Chris's Corner, as long as we got out of there ahead of that, maybe.
Are they open on Tuesdays?
They're open on Friday, Holly.
I mean, on
Friday.
Fridays.
On
That's right, it's
Fridays.
Friday. Duh.
Yes, I think so.
I think we should meet at Harry's house.
Okay, great.
Look at Harry.
So 2 o'clock.
That's fine with me.
Great. Excellent.
I will send out an email to everybody, just confirming and reminding.
Very good. Thank you.
We-
Excellent.
Will you check with Chris, Jason, and see if we can use it?
I will, I'll reach
Okay.
out to him. I know he was recovering from COVID, but I think he's probably fine by now, I hope.
And I guess the moderator, and that's with Jamie, would have someone who would lead the discussions.
Sure.
Sure, great. Thank you. Sounds
Okay.
terrific. Okay, next item on the agenda is the Forward Raven Marketing Board. Again, congratulations, Jamie. Have you?
What are you laughing about, Holly?
I just wondered if the bruises on your arm had recovered yet, you know?
Jamie, have you had your meeting yet? Has there been any meetings?
No, we didn't have one in January, so it'll
Okay.
be February for the first meeting.
Is
You'll
it
do great,
possible?
Jamie.
Yeah, is it possible, I guess, Mayor, that Jamie could report to the committee, say on a monthly basis, when you have the meetings, a short discussion, what's happening on the board? Jamie, I don't have to be a lengthy report, but if something on a
Sure.
monthly basis, keep us update what's going on.
I will do that.
Okay, we'll do it.
I'm
Fantastic.
excited about doing it. I saw Rick Story's email that what all the marketing committee or the Explore Rabun committee, Forward Rabun committee had done last year for marketing Rabun County, and it's really impressive.
Very professional. Yes,
Mhm.
I agree. Very good.
Jamie, if you would be so kind when you represent us, I would like for us to focus more on success metrics, methodology, so we could figure out some additional ways to do that with our own efforts. I know we have started, and thank you, Debbie and Ed, for allowing us to put questions about people, why they purchased property and houses in Sky Valley on their registration form. And I think that's a great start at data collection. But if you could kind of, with the experts there on that board, help us come up with some more methods to do this. I think that would be really helpful for us.
Great idea.
Be very good. Again, next item on the agenda, I guess, will be the budget we're talking about. Have you had a chance? I said something else, just as a worksheet. Has everyone had a chance to look at it?
Yes.
Great. What I wanted to do is, first of all, is thank Jason for sending all the information, putting these together. You're very timely, and thank you for your cooperation in doing it. As you look at it, what I want to do is just show, really, eventually, let's first talk about the contributions. And as a adjusted carryover funds, we currently have an account for money to be spent, $2,724.93. And that's based on paying Lawson Media. So at this point, all bills are paid for in 2021. And that's very good. So looking at monetary contributions, just comparing, if you would, last year, you can see what we did at a total of area of $23,000 in monetary contributions. The city of Sky Valley had 3,000, the POA had 15,000, and the club was 5,000. And that with also the club had a lot of in-kind services, meals and so forth. So looking at monetary contributions for this year, the city of Sky Valley has really come forward. They have 15,000 and $15. So at this point, we have in the checking account, Jason, maybe you could tell, has that been transferred in? I know you talked about that
Yeah,
funding.
the 15,000 has been moved from the general fund to the marketing.
To the marketing fund. So at this point, in terms of the checking account, the city has a separate checking account for us. We have, if I see it, 17,739.93. That's what's in our fund, which is really good. So taking it from there, and then we look at, what is of course, the POA and what the club is going to do. And I did want to just go over that, with expenses and so forth and show, where we need funding and so forth and what possibly the club and the POA will be, contributing.
You can count on the POA reducing its amount.
Yes,
We have
yes.
put 15,000 in for 2 years now, so
Oh,
30,000 we've invested. We're going to drop back significantly.
great. Yeah, I know that. I heard that discussion and I just wanted to go over it and then maybe at a time when you're ready and can give us a number. So as we look at it and also,
That'd be great.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to get a reason, justification for when we need funding instead of just you've done a marvelous job. And that's where we're at. It was very fortunate to have the POA stepping up as you've done. And also with looking at Carol and looking at what the club is going to do. And let's review our expenses if we could. And maybe that'll help us in justification, just what we need for funding. As we look at total expenses in terms of it area, we have communications of last year of $9,138. And the Gulf Life was 9,000 and Regions Bank, GoDaddy Bank. I'm not sure what that is, but we come out with essentially 9138. This, in terms of advertising, we had Travcom, Mountain Lake Publishing, Clayton Tribune, essentially $3,090 in advertising. And then professional services, Steve Dinberg, photography, $82.76. And then general supplies, materials, cost of beauty bags, Ed had $178 and hay bale materials, $88.98. So our total expenses, I mean, it was really a rock bottom. They just did an excellent job. There was no extravagant meal expenses, party expenses. It was a just bare bone, I guess, cost. And then what I did is we had loss in media, the web update, it was $37.50, which was money well spent. That was, we incurred the expense, we didn't pay it till this year. So our total expenses, if you take the marketing expenses, is $24,521.66. So looking at it and, without any future expenses, some things we want to do, as Jason was saying, it looks like the web update will be taken care of by general funds. And we have to look at it. I want the committee to look at it. What things should we take away? What do we add? I know there's some future programs we might want to be involved with. So looking at it, I want you to decide, can we get additional funding? If we essentially went ahead and just used the same budget, we'd be at $24,521.66. And we currently at this time have $17,739. So give you an idea of where we stand.
Gordon, I would like for this committee, a representative, probably you, to invite timeshares to participate in the Sky Valley marketing endeavors. I think it's important for them too, and maybe they're at a place now where they would be interested in contributing to the effort, since it benefits them a whole lot also.
Who's this again? I'm sorry.
Timeshare.
Oh, the timeshare, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
What?
I'll follow up on that.
Thank you, Gordon.
Thank you. Well, looking at it, what's your overall discussions in terms of expenses? You see it, Bob's done a marvelous job, and as we look through it.
God, shut up.
Expenses, I guess, do we have generally add, and where do we think? When do we, I guess, get a decision from the POA and possibly from the board club in terms of commitment?
Well, I think what we have to look at is what expenses do we think we have to continue first?
Yes.
And which
yes,
ones can we not have to continue?
Yes,
I have no problem with many of the expenses here with our magazines and things that we contribute to.
yes,
But are we going to continue to spend another $8,300 for photography?
yes,
Are we going to spend more money for some other things that we we know we may not need now that we've started already. We
Mhm.
do need to extend our expenses for website development and website continuance. So I
Yes,
think once we establish what our total expenses are going to be, right now, it looks like expenses are covered. If there are only $24,000 worth of expenses, there's $25,000 worth of income.
well, right now, we have income right net, all depends on what, right now, we have 17,000. If you take our carryover 27, 24, and the 15, we're at 17. Yeah.
And if the club gives 5,000 and we give 5,000, you've got more than enough money.
Yes, we're right. But then there's no carryover. You know, we have to have also carryover.
We don't know if there's no carryover yet. We haven't reached the end of the year. We have an overbalance if you have that much income.
Well, the assumption is the assumption is we use the same, I agree with you. If we use the same assumption of expenses we had last year with the carryover, we would, would be negative. Right? Because if we take our 24,000, that's our expenses last year without the carryover is 24,000. If everything
We
was the
need to
same.
do a projected budget for the year, just a whole year's budget, and figure
Yes.
out there what we need to do.
Yes, I think, yeah.
Uh-uh. No way.
And then possibly present it at our next meeting, Gordon, and then
Yes,
by
I
that
think that-
time,
Yes. I
the
think this will
POA
be-
and the board could decide how much, and possibly the timeshare, that would be good.
Yeah, this is a layout, just trying to say,
Yeah.
instead of randomly saying we want money, I want to sort of justify where the money
Sure.
is going. And,
Right.
it's a beginning, it's a worksheet so that ideally, if we did nothing, this is what we need. But we can discuss it, and this will help you in your justification to your board,
Sure.
on which you have to, you can. or we can-
Let me hitchhike just a second on
Sure.
Ed's comment.
Yeah,
The two major expenses for 2021 were the Golf Life and the Steve Denberg. Is that correct?
That's
correct.
what it looks like.
Yes.
Okay, what are our commitment in 2022 on Golf Life and Steve Denberg?
Well, good question. The Golf Life goes through June, and Steve has already been paid. He's been paid up to date, so there's no commitment. The second part of the contract is, what do we need after he completes? So his initial contract, 8,000, whatever, has been paid. So it's just
That's to get four seasons of photographs.
Yes.
Okay, that 4 seasons is pretty much all we have every year, correct?
Well,
That's all we've ever had.
So,
yeah.
okay, so now I would encourage to this is about the prettiest blanket of snow that we'll ever get, that some of our local experts have taken some really nice photographs of. I want to reiterate, collecting some of those for Steve for his winter collection. If someone knows Moody or some of those other people that have some high quality photographs, that should pretty much take care of the winter photographs, which is really not what we're necessarily promoting anyway, is have people rush in here and get stuck on a road in the middle of the winter. So it's pretty, and that would be great to share as part of our photograph collection.
Yeah.
And then I understand that Steve will be getting summer and spring, which will be wonderful. And then we can probably figure out beyond that what we want him to do in addition to these 4 seasons of this current year. The Golf Life.
Yeah.
Whoops, Harry
I
left.
can't hear it.
Harry left us.
Well, it's a robust discussion as we go into it.
He's back.
Off. Back.
Hello?
Okay, that's what I had.
Okay. Okay, I think I didn't hear you here. You got cut off. We can sit down. Who in the committee? Yes, I think putting together and projecting what we need at Gulf Life, obviously, there's some things that's our marketing. So we have to look at, can we, the Lindbergh, is that something we can have to continue to do? Yes. So who would like to be on a committee and this budget committee? Obviously, I'll chair it and we can discuss this and then have something ready for presentation at our next meeting.
I nominate Jim Curtis.
Okay. Okay. Ed?
Debbie's laughing at that.
Yeah.
Good move, Holly.
Yeah.
It'll teach him to miss a meeting.
Ed, do you mind being Ed?
Oh, I'd love to be on there. I'll be fine.
Okay.
Thank you, Ed. We need a grown-up on the group.
Okay. Harry, for the club? Can you hear us?
He left.
He left. He's on mute.
Okay. Or any other suggestion, and I'll try to follow up with the timeshare people.
Harry, did you
Excellent.
hear the nomination?
Yes,
Good.
I don't believe, I can't speak for the club necessarily, but I don't believe the 5,000 would be a problem for us.
Yeah, I was hoping maybe you'd tick that up a little bit after we talk, but we'll see. That's a minimum. That's a starting point.
We'll
Right.
see.
That's a starting point.
Okay,
We in the POA, POA is having to reduce our contribution,
understand.
but we were the primary focus on trying to support this thing for the
Yes.
first 2 years.
Yes, many thanks. Yes. So I will follow up in terms of getting the committee together and we'll discuss this. Yes, great. And have something
Fantastic,
ready,
good.
ready for the next meeting. Okay, very good. Let's talk about any other, I guess, other open ideas, any other subjects you want to talk about at this point before we decide on our next meeting date.
I think, Gordon, it would be good if you probed Bob O'Keefe's mind a little bit, because Bob looked out and got most of these advertising ideas here we had and probe his mind a little bit, prompt him to give you some more information about where he might have wanted to go if he
Yeah.
had enough funding.
Yeah, that's very good. I had spoken to Bob earlier and several things, spent considerable time with, but that's a very good idea. Yes, whether we possibly areas we need the funding. That's very good. Yes, I will do that.
Thank you,
I
sir.
say, I say probe carefully.
Okay. Okay, great, great.
With a
All
6-foot
right.
stick.
Yeah, great. Okay, any other comments? Of course, the other thing we want to look at, if we have the funding, is what other things is you're talking about, Bob, what other things does the club want? We talked about goals last year, a couple of years ago, what the POA goals were, what the club goals were, what the city goals were. I'd like each of your members to look at it and say, where should we possibly go with this marketing program? Go ahead, Harry.
I'm done.
Okay, so the question is, think about it as we go, the base where we're at, and then once you get down, what are the things should we do at this point? I think we've got a tremendous base as we talk about it, go from, and what are the other areas, directions you'd like to go? So great. And
Gordon,
we'll-
I would like to see us focus some more on our trail system, and I want
Yeah.
to possibly put on our website a thank you to Debbie Dollhouse and a whole committee of hemlock people who went out and treated the hemlocks on
Yeah.
our trails, and that we are going to try to clean up what is the beginning part of a trail called?
Trailhead.
Thank
Trailhead.
you, Trailhead.
Okay,
Thank you
trailhead,
all.
yeah.
And talk about that. Talk a little bit more about our pickleball court,
Yes,
and some of the other more wonderful things about Sky Valley.
And that's
Yes.
my hope, is to just hone it into a Sky Valley site,
yes,
Right.
highlight all those things.
And the VRBO, we've got wonderful places to stay, like you said,
right,
Jamie, I think so.
right. Yes, I
I mean,
agree.
our golf is wonderful, and that
Yeah.
certainly is the draw, but we've got to give them some more stuff to do in Sky
Right.
Valley.
I agree. Very good. All right, and closing here, when would we like the next meeting date? Is there a suggestion? I thought possibly the 24th of February, same time, 10 o'clock.
That works for me.
Works for me.
24th is fine, I think.
24, 10 o'clock. Jason, can we set that up?
I will do that.
Okay, great. Very good. Well, I think at this point, we'll set up the 24th as our next meeting, 10 o'clock. Again, is there a motion at that point? Any other thing we should discuss? Is there a motion that we should end the meeting?
Hold, Gordon, may I ask
Yes.
a question if you're done with your official business?
Yes, you certainly can. Go ahead.
I do have the online survey that Ed Style asked us to develop.
Yeah.
We can't hear you, Debbie.
Can't hear you, Deb.
There you go.
Okay, yeah, you
Okay.
should be able to hear me. Okay.
Nope, it's
Nope.
off again.
Geez, what's going on? Can you hear now?
Yes.
Now,
Okay. I just wanted to know, are you ready for that to launch? I added the questions that you and Jamie had, Gordon. Jamie wanted to ask, when did you buy the house or buy property?
Mhm.
And Gordon wanted to add, how long was the lag between when you heard about Sky Valley or first learned about it and when you bought?
Mhm.
So that is ready. Is there anything else you want to add?
Would
And
you review all the questions for everybody, Debbie?
yes, of course, I left my glasses downstairs, so let me see if I can do this. How did you first learn about Sky Valley? It's a checklist, and it has at the bottom other, and the second question is to explain what other is. The choices are friends, family members, driving around the area, an advertisement, visitor center, a festival or event, and then other. The second question is, what factors persuaded you to buy property in Sky Valley? And it's that same list with a follow-up question. If you say other, tell us what other. The next question is, what was the one most important factor in your decision to buy property? Again, the same list with the follow-up if you said other. The three additional questions, Jamie's was, what year did you purchase your property? And Gordon's is, how many years did you know about Sky Valley before you purchased property? And then I added another question that you may or may not want to keep in there. What is your age range? And I made it optional. The options are 30 to 45, 45 to 65, 65 to 80, or 80 plus. Is that something you would want to include or don't care? And are there other questions?
I think it's a good question.
Okay, are there other questions you would like to see or take out anything before we launch this? And I'll work with Ed to send it out to the POA membership.
I
Who's gonna
recommend we go ahead and start it and start collecting any kind of data we can get.
Okay.
We can add to it later on if we need to.
Debbie,
once it
are you
comes
the
out-
collector? Debbie, are you the collector of the data?
Yes, this will be a
Okay.
MailChimp survey,
Okay.
and we won't be able to add to this. Once it goes
Okay.
out, that's it. We can do another survey, but I don't want you to over survey people.
Mhm.
There's a burnout
Yes.
factor.
Oh, I agree. I agree with
Yes.
that.
Now, are we MailChimping just to the POA members or?
Those are the only people that I can reach. However, there is a link to the survey. So that was a good question. Would you want to send this out on the city email? That means some people will get it twice, but we will hope that they have
Mhm.
the mental capacity to say, I don't have to fill it out twice.
I think it should be on both in the
Yes.
city too, because it's so much broader than just the POA.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree.
Would
Okay,
there be any benefit to asking, since we're asking the ages of the people that are filling out the survey, since we're starting to see an influx of some younger people, to asking the ages of the people that are residing in the property? To see if we're picking up any school-age kids or anything like that. Is there any benefit to that information?
I think we'd probably gather that if they check between 30 and 40 or something like that, but I wouldn't want that information necessarily to get out to the public, because if it looks like we're all 75 to 90, we might not get young people.
Yes.
So maybe we should sort of take that for information and keep it under wraps.
the age range, you mean?
Yeah. I mean, like my son, who is not a candidate for being up here, he lives in Rabun County, but you know, he talks about the gray hairs up here jokingly. But I think Sky Valley is, you know, typically thought of that way. But I think we're getting some great influx of new people with kids that are going to Rabun Gap and Rabun County.
Yeah, I do think we should collect information. I don't necessarily say how we share that information. That's what you're saying, right? We still want to
Yes.
collect it.
Oh, definitely.
Yes. Does that make sense, Carol?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, so I agree. Let's not add another question
Yes.
to specifically ask about school-age kids. I think by looking at the younger age range, if anybody's going to have kids, that's the likely place. And,
Right.
and we don't have to have the age question. I just am asking, do you want it?
I think it's good information.
Yes.
Okay, well, thank you. I'll work with you, Ed, to
Yes.
put an email out to the POA, and Jason and Karen, I'll send you the link to the survey with the text we're going to use for the POA email. And let's try to send this out about the same time. So is there a Sky Valley Times email planned to go out anytime soon?
I think, isn't it today, Karen?
Yes, if I can get it all wrapped up, it'd either be today or possibly Monday. I
How
can't
about
send
Monday?
anywhere out any different, but, or any other day. But anyway, opt in for today, if not today, Monday.
Can we say
Great.
Monday?
Sure,
And that way we're both on the same page?
sure, absolutely.
Okay,
Yes.
Great.
Thank you.
Very
Okay.
good.
thank
Debbie,
you.
Debbie, when do you think we could have a final, say, a report, back to the committee on this? A month or?
Let's put a closing date
Yeah.
of a month. So if
Okay.
it goes out Monday, I think that's the
31st.
31st.
Okay.
So we'll say it closes March 1.
Right.
Right.
And,
Okay.
and that gives people a month. The responses will be anonymous, so I won't be able to tell you that Harry said this, but it will be aggregated. 100
Great.
people said this, 500 people said that.
Okay, great,
So,
terrific.
And the challenge will be, if people do fill it out twice, I won't be able to tell you that Ed filled it out twice. I don't think that's going to be a big problem, but it could be if people get an email from the city and they forget that they already responded to the email from the POA.
Well, I think it'll give us close enough approximation of the data we need anyway, either
Right.
way, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Right.
going to be qualitative, not quantitative.
Yeah, Yeah.
But yes, you'll have an idea.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Debbie. Thank you.
Jason, But changing subject, could you send me the link to reach the photos, that we have for the website? I have a link, but it's not working and I need a link again.
Okay, I'll have to, I've got that in the email. I'll find that. Yeah, I'll get that to you.
Okay. Thank you.
Doug, I want to say, send my condolences to your father-in-law. That was very sad. I'm sorry to have heard that.
Very much. I will tell my wife. Thank you, Holly. I appreciate that. Yeah, trust me, it's been a long 12 months.
Yes, sir. And plus you had surgery too.
Yeah, I was thinking to say the same thing. Plus I had my back surgery.
Yeah. And didn't you have a psychiatric internment also?
Hey, everybody except Holly. When is Holly up for re-election again?
She'll
Okay,
pay
very good.
people to vote against her.
I got it. That's what you're doing.
Okay, I guess adjourn the meeting. Is there a motion? Do I hear a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Motion made.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? All in
Aye.
favor, say aye.
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 Aye,
Thank you,
good.
Gordon. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
all
Thank you,
your
Gordon. You
leadership.
did good.
Yeah,
Thank
thanks,
you.
Gordon.
Thank you.
Oh, have a good weekend.
And
Thank
you got to show
You
back up,
too.
Carol.
Sorry.
Okay.
I
See
said
you
you have to
later.
show back up.
Bye.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.